Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel once again. Welcome to the delayed flight. For you who follow the channel, I suppose that you know that this is the plane that brought us back to Thessaloniki from Jerusalem. It is a Boeing 767-400 of airchina, which is of course a wonderful plane, I would say. More than wonderful, actually. We will not connect the stairs right now, just to have a better look at our plane. And this is our Boeing 767-400. Now, the news is that for the very first time, we managed to go outside of the plane successfully. Here are my new saved camera views. I have said lots of times that in general we use 3 or 4 camera views for landings and takeoffs. First time, I think it is quite clear, we managed to go outside of the plane and to save 7 wonderful camera views from outside, external camera views. And this is what I want to show to you. How to go out of the planes and save your desired external camera views with the Boeings. So, my saved camera views, my new external saved camera views are these ones. And this is exactly what I want to show you with this tutorial. And our task is not that difficult. Just keep notes, as I always used to say, and everything will be just fine. So, let's get started. I think this is quite visible, isn't it? And I would like you to take a screenshot and to keep this on your desktop. And this screenshot here shows the location of your airplanes, either with the Steam edition or with the Microsoft Store edition. And exactly the same is if you have purchased the game with the DVD. I want you to be extremely careful and precise because there are many locations where you can find your plane. But you must find the correct folder, because this folder here exists in many different locations. So our example in this clip will be the 767-400, and exactly the same procedure we will follow also for the other planes above 737, for the other Boeings actually above 737. Okay, we can leave the stairs. There are tutorials how to navigate and how to climb up and down the stairs in the channel. You may as well have a look. So this is our beauty, our 767-400 of airchina, and we will modify the external cameras. That means that we must find the folder of the 767-400. Okay, so you go My Computer, E, and then Users. Here must be your name or something, My Computer, My Tower, My PC, something. So you click here, and then you go Up Data, and then you go Local. Here now, please be careful. Now you choose Packages. You will choose this one here, not MSFS packages, not this one. Actually here you can also find the same folder, the folder of your planes where the 767-400 exists, or the plane that you wish to modify. Not this one, not MSFS packages, just packages. You go here, okay? Again, I need your attention because here there are so many folders of Microsoft, as you can see, isn't it? And you will choose this one here, Microsoft Flight Simulator 8, and so on and so on. This one, no other, okay? So you press here, and then you go local cache, okay? And then you go sim objects. You will not go to the list. Here you see, for instance, the planes of Asobo. No, you will not search for your plane here. You will go here, airplanes, where actually is the same list with all your planes included. See, you will not search here and so on. Ignore this and go to this folder, airplanes. Okay? And here, for instance, our plane, the 767-400, is this one, isn't it? Captain Sim, Boeing 767-400. So you click here, and this is the file that we will modify, cameras. This is the file, okay? Now, since we will modify this file, you will create a backup file. Always create a backup file in such cases. How do we do this? You will copy this file here, the original camera settings of the 767-400 or from whichever plane you choose. Copy. New folder. And you paste the file here, okay? This is the original file. Now, this is extremely important because, for instance, if we have a look at my computer and we go here, okay? You see, for instance, that I have a folder called original cams, original cameras, and here I have saved all the prototypes. Just in case, you will have a folder where you will save all the original camera settings. Just in case that something goes wrong. For instance, here is the 767, the Dreamliner, the CJ4, the Cessna Longitude, and so on and so on. Now I want to explain to you the mechanism. Have in mind that every time you exit the game, this cameras.cfg file changes. So, let us go inside the cabin of the plane. And by the way, if you want to make your life easier, go here, camera, in order to move faster, and change this one, free look speed, set it to 100, okay? So here we are inside the cabin of the 400. Choose a position close to the wings. Okay? Our task is to save just one camera outside of the plane successfully. So I would suggest you to save a camera view somewhere here. Something like this, for instance. How do we do this? Ctrl plus Alt plus 0. And you bring back the saved camera with Alt plus 0. We will change these 2-3 cameras, number 8, 9, and 10. Just be close to the windows of the aircraft. You save this camera view with Ctrl plus Alt plus 0. Or Ctrl plus Alt plus 9. And then you can as well save another one, for instance this one here, or whichever you prefer. Just don't forget to be close to the windows, with Ctrl plus Alt plus 8. Now this is the original file. It's with Ctrl plus Alt plus 9 and plus Alt plus 8, which are here, of course. Camera definition 1, camera definition 2, and so on. We go down. Camera definition 8, okay? You saved cameras number 8 and 9, isn't it? So you go here at the very end of camera definition 8. Please be careful to change this one, the cameras that you saved, not another one, okay? Definition 8, you go down and you go here. Exactly here, okay? This is the value that you will change. So this -1, you will change it. You will put here the cursor, backspace, and you will make it -5, okay? And then you go to camera definition 9, here it is, and you change this one, the initial XYZ axis. These two here, you will delete with backspace and you will type -5. Okay, I will show you how. For instance, backspace -5. Okay. I would also strongly suggest you to do the same with camera definition number 7. You can save also another camera, because you are not 100% sure that this will work with all cameras. Don't forget that we need just one camera to go outside of the plane. So once again, I insist on these things, as you know. Your computer, local disk C, users, your name or whatever, my computer, my PC, app data, local, packages and not MSFS packages, this one and not this one, okay? Find the correct folder here, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator, this one here with the number 8, local cache, sim objects, and now you go here, airplanes, and not to the list. Airplanes, choose the plane, the Boeing that you want to modify. Our example is 767-400, which is this one here, and this is the file that you will modify, okay? The last 2 or 3 cameras, camera definition number 7, 8, and 9. And all this -2 or whatever it is, change it to -5. That means here, this one, you will make it -5, and this one, you will make it -5. And you can as well add camera definition 7, and this one here, initial XYZ Axis, change it to -5, okay? Here is our new modified baby, our Boeing 767-400, a wonderful plane. So many interesting details. So I was saying, I said this also to other clips, that the most common mistake I see at these so-called tutorials, and there are plenty of them, they suggest you to change this and to put number 1, number 2, and then Ctrl plus number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. No, don't do this. This is a mistake. There is no reason to change the default settings of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And the default settings are Ctrl plus Alt plus a number from 1 until 0 to save the camera, and with Alt plus a number from 1 until 0 you bring back the saved cameras. This is the first mistake that all these tutorials have, and this mistake, like a plague, like a contagious disease, is transferred from one clip to the other and afterwards to your computer. And the second most serious mistake is, if for instance we go here, they suggest you to do exactly the same what I was telling you right now, somewhere here. They suggest you to go here, isn't it? Co-pilot's view, first officer's view, and to modify the axis somewhere here. Actually, this is camera definition 1 or 2. Why is this a mistake? This is a mistake because if you do so, you find yourself outside of the plane. So that means that every time you will press Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt 3, like this, you will find yourself outside of the plane, and this you cannot change. That is why I always suggest to change the last cameras, 7, 8, 9, 0, and not the first ones, which are the takeoff and landing cameras. You change this distance. Here is the end. If you see these values, 1 dot something, or minus 1, minus 2 dot something, it is not enough. You change it to -5, and you say to your computer, I want you to go outside, move further. And this is the way that you go outside of the plane. This is the mechanism, actually. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. And here it goes. That's it. We are outside of the plane, finally. After changing the axis, we managed to go outside of the plane. Now, how do we navigate outside of the plane, isn't it? With the mouse, you press right-click, okay? You can change any point of view that you like now. Right-click, keep pressing right-click. So this is the way that you turn. You continue to use the commands of the cockpit, not the commands of the drone camera. It is supposed that you are still inside the cockpit, which means forward with Alt plus arrow on the numpad, arrow up, Alt plus arrow down, Alt plus left and right arrow. And if you want to turn, just use your mouse pressing right click. So now you have all the time to choose your desired external camera views. Alt plus arrow up. This is just an example. I think somewhere here it will be something very nice. Okay, for instance, this one here, isn't it? Just put your imagination to work and spend some time. You will have a jolly good time searching for new wonderful camera views. So, for instance, you like this camera here, and you press now Ctrl plus Alt plus 0, and this camera view is saved. And you bring back this camera view with Alt plus 0. I have done this already, as I told you earlier, and the cameras I chose for the 767-400 are these ones here. Alt 0, Alt 9, Alt 8, Alt 7, Alt 6. Actually, this is a very interesting idea. This is a new interesting idea. Actually, here we have a look in front of us. If you see here, you see here is our plane, and I like this view a lot. Okay, so this is in front of us, especially when you land, it is magnificent. Okay. This one, Alt 5, Alt 3, and I have also 3 camera views, 3 or 4 camera views for the cockpit. Don't forget that when you're outside, you continue to use the same commands as you do inside the cockpit. For instance, once again, here I press right click, and here I use the arrows, Alt plus the arrows, isn't it? This is arrow up, arrow down, arrow left, arrow right. With arrow up, you just go up, and with arrow down, you just go down. But with Alt plus arrow, you go forwards, isn't it? And with Alt plus arrow down, you go backwards. With Alt plus arrow up, you go forward, and with Alt plus arrow down, you go backwards. Right-click on the mouse, and so on and so on. It is supposed that you're still inside the cockpit. When you're outside of the cockpit, when you manage to go outside of the cockpit successfully. For instance, now I use the drone camera mode, which means W, F, R, S, D, and so on. Have a look at these tutorials. There are plenty of tutorials concerning the cameras. It is one of the most important things in Microsoft Flight Simulator. No, we don't use these commands in order to modify our external cameras. We use the commands of the cockpit. Well, okay, I know that I occupy more place because I changed with slew mode the position of my plane, actually, isn't it? To have a better view. But this doesn't mean that I would like to have my plane damaged. So now, for instance, I was telling you that if you go to controls, this is also important, just to know where your saved cameras are. Okay, controls, keyboard, and if you go here, search by input, and you press, for instance, let's say Alt plus 1, you see? Here it is. Cockpit cameras, save custom camera 1, command is Ctrl plus Alt plus 1, and so on and so on. You save the custom camera views with Ctrl plus Alt plus 1 or plus 2 or plus 3 and so on until 0, and you load the saved camera with Alt plus 1 or with Alt plus 2, Alt plus 3, and so on and so on. If, for instance, you save a camera, let's say camera number 5, Ctrl plus Alt plus 5, okay. Okay, you see, Alt plus 5 is for loading the camera, the external camera number 5. And with Ctrl plus Alt plus 5, you save the custom camera, the external custom camera number 5. Just to know where the position of these commands are. These commands are, I repeat once again that these are the default commands, and don't change these commands. Let them exactly as they are. See now once again, I can't believe such happiness. Here is my Lithuanian Airbus. Finally, it appeared. My beloved Lithuanian Airbus, the only Lithuanian Airbus. Only one piece. Here it is. I have said this also many times, that if you fly with some planes lots of times, finally they will appear in the airport that you are. The best company in the world is this plane, isn't it? Okay. Okay, now this is just a teaser. The result. Okay. Let us see the result. Here are the saved cameras. This is just an example. It is clear that we are outside of the plane, isn't it? These are my saved cameras. Just a takeoff. You see how nice? You see the flaps are still set. We retract the flaps, I suppose, now. Right click on the mouse and you change the position. You can save whichever camera you want, of course. And here there is a very nice turn, I think. This is the front camera view, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is one of the most important things in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And this is the most interesting part, this turn here, for instance. The airport is behind us. Have a look at the right wing, which is higher, of course, because we turn. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I will not insist any further. And this is all for now. Now, for instance, I parked normally. With slew mode, I returned back to my place. If we want to compare the default camera views in general, either of Asobo or of the other Paywer planes, they are not that good. Actually, many of them are bad. For instance, if I go here, these are the default camera views, isn't it? So this is 0, this is nothing. Okay, not the best. Also not the best. This is useful for landings. With this camera you can see your landings better and you can see the touchdown. Okay, this camera I use lots of times. I think the cameras that we saved are much more better than this one here. Or this one, which is not bad, of course. Okay, nothing special here, just the turbine turning. Okay, this is bad. And definitely the last 3, 4 are not the best. About these cameras here, what to say, these are useless. I mean, there is no reason to have cameras inside the cabin. You can save your own ones if you like. So these were the default camera views. Another look at bespoke Macedonia Airport, Thessaloniki, Greece. But I don't see my Lithuanian Airbus. Don't forget to support the channel, thumbs up, comment. Keep notes always. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all for now. I would like very much to see my Lithuanian Airbus, which this time didn't appear. Thank you for watching this clip and hope to see you soon to the next one. Till then, you take care and bye for now.